The gold locket looked small enough to fit inside Daniel Carter's closed hand, yet somewhere across the city, a powerful CEO had already promised $1 million to anyone who could bring it back. Daniel knew nothing about the reward. All he knew was that his daughter needed medicine, his rent was overdue, and the locket shining beneath a park bench might be worth enough to solve every problem in his life. Daniel was 36 years old and raising 2 children alone. His son, Noah, was 9. He was quiet, observant, and already old enough to understand when his father was pretending not to be worried. His daughter, Lily, was 6. She loved drawing flowers, asking impossible questions, and falling asleep with one hand wrapped around Daniel's finger. 3 years earlier, Daniel's wife, Rachel, had died after a long illness. Since then, Daniel had worked hard to keep their family together. He repaired furniture in a small workshop during the day and delivered food in the evenings whenever someone could watch the children. He was skilled with his hands, but work had become irregular. The workshop owner had recently reduced everyone's hours that Friday afternoon. Daniel received an envelope from his landlord. It was not another reminder, it was a final notice. He stood in the narrow kitchen of their apartment, reading the same sentence again and again. Payment must be received within 7 days. Noah sat at the table doing his homework. Lily was curled up on the couch under a thin blanket, coughing softly. "Is everything okay, Dad?" Noah asked. Daniel folded the letter quickly. "Just grown-up paperwork." Noah looked at him for a moment. "Is it bad grown-up paperwork?" Daniel forced a smile. "There's no good kind." Lily coughed again. Daniel went to her and touched her forehead. It was warm. "Your medicine should help," he said. "There's only a little left," she whispered. He checked the bottle. 1 dose remained. The doctor had warned him not to let Lily's chest infection get worse. Daniel had promised to buy the full prescription, but after paying the electricity bill and buying groceries, he had only $11 left. That evening, he took the children to Riverside Park. He told them the fresh air might help Lily breathe. The truth was that he needed time to think without staring at the unpaid bills on the kitchen counter. They walked slowly along the path. Noah kicked fallen leaves. Lily held Daniel's hand and pointed at dogs, birds, and passing bicycles. Near an old wooden bench, Lily stopped. "Dad, something is shining." Daniel looked beneath the bench and saw a thin gold chain tangled in the grass. He bent down and pulled it free. At the end of the chain was an oval locket. It was heavy, decorated with tiny flowers, and clearly old. A small blue stone sat in the center. Noah leaned closer. "Is it real gold?" "I don't know. Can we sell it?" Lily asked innocently. "Then we can buy my medicine and pizza." Daniel's chest tightened. He turned the locket over. There were initials engraved on the back. "EM." He pressed the tiny clasp. The locket opened. Inside was a faded photograph of a smiling woman holding a little girl. On the other side was a folded piece of paper, worn soft by age. Daniel carefully opened it. The message was short. "To Evelyn, so you will always remember that you were loved before the world knew your name." Mom. Daniel stared at the words. The locket was not just expensive, it was personal. Someone had carried it for years. "We should take it to the police," Noah said. Don Knoll closed the locket. "Yes," but as he stood, his phone rang. It was the pharmacy, Mr. Carter. The pharmacist said, "Lily's prescription is still waiting. We can hold it until tomorrow evening, but after that we may have to return it to stock." "How much is the total again?" $184. Daniel looked at Lily's pale face. "I'll get it tomorrow," he said, though he had no idea how. After the call, Noah studied him. "That was about Lily's medicine, wasn't it?" Daniel slipped the locket into his coat pocket. "We're going home. Aren't we going to the police? The station is closing soon." Noah looked toward the street. "It's open all night." Daniel did not answer. On the way home, the locket seemed to grow heavier in his pocket at the apartment. Daniel made soup from the last vegetables in the refrigerator. Lily ate only a few spoonfuls before falling asleep. Noah helped carry her to bed. Later, Daniel sat alone at the kitchen table and placed the locket. Beneath the yellow light, he searched the initials online. Hundreds of names appeared. Then he searched for the locket itself, describing the blue stone and flower pattern. Nothing useful came up. He considered taking it to a pawn shop. He imagined walking out with enough money for the medicine, rent, and groceries. He also imagined the unknown owner opening an empty jewelry box and realizing that the last message from her mother was gone forever. Daniel put his head in his hands. "Rachel," he whispered, "what am I supposed to do?" He remembered something his wife had once told him when they were struggling to pay hospital bills. "Being desperate doesn't make you dishonest, but desperation will try to convince you that dishonesty is your only choice." The next morning, Lily woke with a high fever. Daniel called the clinic. The nurse told him to begin the medicine that day and bring Lily in if her breathing became worse. Daniel made a decision. He would take the locket to a jewelry shop, learn its value, and then decide what to do. He hated himself for even thinking that way, but he was a father before he was anything else at the jewelry shop. An elderly owner named Mr. Feldman examined the locket through a small lens. "This is not ordinary," he said. Daniel's heartbeat quickened. "How much is it worth?" "The gold and stone, perhaps $8,000 or $10,000. Daniel gripped the counter. $10,000 could save their apartment. It could pay for months of medicine and food. But Mr. Feldman was still studying the engraving. The craftsmanship is older, custom-made, possibly one of a kind. Would you buy it? Mr. Feldman looked at him carefully. Where did you get it? I found it in Riverside Park. The jeweler's expression changed. He turned toward a television mounted on the wall and raised the volume. A news reporter stood outside a tall glass office building. Business leader Evelyn Monroe has increased the reward for the return of her missing family locket. Monroe, CEO of Monroe Global, is now offering $1 million. No questions asked. A photograph of Evelyn appeared on the screen. She was elegant, serious, and known across the country for building one of the largest medical technology companies in the world. Then the locket appeared. It was the same one lying on the counter. Daniel's mouth went dry. Mr. Feldman slowly looked at him. My friend, he said, you have just found the most searched for piece of jewelry in the city.